Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to talk about one more interview questions that's related to functional interfaces. So basically any Java interview you face or you went to, you must have got some questions around the Java 8 and its features. So functional interface is again something that comes under the umbrella of Java 8 features questions. So functional interface is something that was there before Java 8 also. Like we have some functional interfaces like runnable, callable, action listener was also there. So what's basically a functional interface is, like a functional interface is an interface which will have only one abstract method. So as you know, the runnable interface which we use for threads, for creating threads, so that runnable thread have only one abstract method that's run. The callable interface which we use for again threading, for multi-threading, that have the only one abstract method in that, that's called, and so on. So basically the functional interfaces were there before Java 8 also. With Java 8 we also got an annotation that restricts us to create a functional interface as per the definition that it should have only one abstract method. And there are also some of the functional interfaces by some default functional interfaces we got with Java 8, like the predicate functions, consumer, suppliers we get. We'll talk about it in some different video, but today let's focus on the functional interface and its annotations. And yeah, let's get started with it. So we will go to Eclipse and check. So as I said, a functional interface will be an interface which will have only one abstract method. So let's say like void. So let's say we have one print method here. So yeah, our functional interface is ready. So we can have only one abstract method. That's what the definition says. And as you may know that with Java 8 we came up with some uh, different methods with interfaces. Like it gives us the capability to create some default methods. So like with the default methods, we came up with the default methods where we can have a method which can be declared, or which cannot, which can be implemented, or which cannot, means if the user wants or the developer wants, they cannot implement, or if they want, they can implement the same. So we also come up with the default methods with Java 8. And again we also came up with some static methods in Java 8. So what are the static methods and default methods is some different topic. We can talk about it in any other video. If you want it, please let me know in the comments so we can talk about it. The same thing we can do here. Like default method gives us the capability to user to decide if they want to implement or not, and the static methods gives the developer the capability of the already implemented method, so that user not need to implement it. So here, as our definition says, that the functional interface should have only one abstract method. So again the interviewer may ask you like, can it have the default and static methods? So yes, our functional interface can have n numbers of default and the static methods. So here is only one default method. If we just copy it and paste it here, let's say paste it here, change its name, and yeah, we are still allowing us. So yeah, we can have a number of default and static methods. So it is the functional interface, but Java had come up with one an annotation for the functional interfaces to restrict user for doing any mistakes at the development time or at the runtime, we can say. So there's an annotation that's functional interface. So let's say we don't have this functional interface thing here, and now what, and it is the functional interfaces which I am using with some Java lambda functions and all. And here what the other developer came up, and he wanted to add some other abstract method with this in this interface. And yeah, so he did that. So is it a functional interface anymore? No. because what our definition says, it should have only one abstract method. So to overcome this issue and to restrict this issue, what Java had came up with an annotation that that we seen as functional interface. So if we have this functional interface annotation in place, so let's see. So what happened is, as soon as we added this annotation, the class started complaining. So what is saying that invalid functional interface annotation, functional interfaces demo is not a functional interface. So it started complaining as soon as we added the annotation. And why it's complaining? Because we have more than one abstract method in this class. So let's delete this abstract method. And yeah, if you see, it's our functional interface. And what if we delete this abstract method too? So there will be no default methods in this, sorry, no abstract methods in this particular interface. So yeah, let's delete it and let's save. So yeah, again it started complaining that the functional interface annotation is not a functional interface. Functional demo is not a functional interface because why? Again, our definition says that there should be one abstract method. We can delete all this and we are good to go. So as a functional interface definition says, we must have one abstract method. So that's the use of functional interface annotation. If the interviewer asks you what's the benefits of having the functional interface annotation, you can say that it helps the developer to make any mistakes of adding multiple abstract methods, or of not having any abstract methods in the interfaces. So that's about the functional interface annotation. And you can also get some of the counter questions related to interfaces and the inheritance. So inheritance is basically a building block of object oriented programming and Java, you can say. And how it will behave with such scenarios of inheriting means, if you have one functional interface and that's getting inherited from another functional interface or another non-functional interfaces, how it will behave. So that kind of questions also you may get. So what we will do is we will just try and see some of the scenarios actually. So let's say we have one functional interface demo child interface which extends our functional interfaces demo. Yeah. So what we will do is we will just create a new file here. Functional interfaces demo we have. We'll just go and create one more interface file. We will add the name from the with Eclipse helps basically. So here we will just paste the interface we have, and what we will do is we will just change the name. So here we are extending an interface. So yeah, we are good. So what we have is we have one functional interface, and here we have one more functional interface. So it is also a functional interface which is extending and functional interface. But what our definition of functional interface says or states that it should have only one abstract method. So here it's only one abstract method, and the interface we are extending also have one abstract method. So will the compiler will consider it as two methods? No, because it have the same name. So the compiler is considering the same method as only one method, and that's why there's no issues or no compiler problems we are seeing. So it's fine. So this is the one case we can say that if the child class sorry, the child interface have the same name abstract method, so it's doable. It's the one case. So the second case what we will see is, what if we don't have any abstract method here in the child class. So as we seen earlier, if from the functional interface, if we remove this abstract method, it starts complaining that it's not a functional interface anymore, because there should at least be one abstract method here. So in this case, so what if we don't have any abstract method in the child class which is extending a functional interface? So it does not complains. Why? Because in the interface what we are extending, there is an abstract method present, so it also considers it as a functional interface. So that's the second case we can talk about. And here again, we if what if we declare some other abstract method in the child class. So let's say we have some void print 2, it's a different abstract method. So let's see what happens. And yeah, so if you see here, it starts complaining that the is functional interface demo child is not, sorry for the spelling mistake here. Yeah, so the functional interface child is not a functional interface, it's complaining because what happened here is we have one abstract method here, and we also have an abstract method in the parent interface. So there are two abstract methods we have right now, and because of this situation it started complaining. So we should not have this thing is the two abstract method in place if we want to use the functional interface with inheritance. And we can, so now we saw that if we have two abstract methods we got some issues. And now if we have here like say void print 2 print 2 here, and this particular interface is not an functional interface, so there's no issue because it's a basic interface what we use in Java, and it's just extending a functional interface. So it can have that print method, and it can also have its own as many as methods it wants. So print 3 we can declare. We can again have any number of default or static methods here also, and in the parent itself it can have n numbers of static and default methods as and when needed. So that's it basically about the functional interfaces. That pretty much sums up the functional interfaces concepts for the interview perspective. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up and please share the video with your friends, and please subscribe to the channel. Yeah, thank you very much for your time.